All right, guys, it's been a minute since we've done a video, and tonight's topic is going to be the Mauser 98k Sporterized. What is it, a hunting rifle? That's what a Sporterized is. Yeah, okay. And Wendell happens to have one. They've been um, a lot of people have been interested in them lately, so we decided we'd show you ours. Here we go.
All right. Mauser 98. This one was manufactured in Belgium. If you want to zoom in,
Oh, I can't see it with the glare.
Fabric National. Um, this was originally a military rifle that has been converted over. This did not start its life like this. As you can see, there's a slot here on the top of the receiver to put your stripper clip. You can see the milled out area for when you load the rounds into the magazine. Pretty sure this one probably started its life somewhere back a long time ago as probably an 8mm Mauser. This one has been converted over. It's got a nice, very thin tapered barrel, 24 inches. It's chambered in 7mm Remington Mag, which that's a chore in itself to get this to work. Another way you can tell this is also sporterized. Loading ammo for this, the overall cartridge length for 7mm Remington Mag is 3.34 inches, and the original 8mm Mauser was 3.25. And I have to seat bullets in this down to right at about 3.3 inches to be able to get them to fit in the magazine. The magazine on this one is just a hair over 3.3 inches. And the important thing is you have to feed from the magazine. This is a Mauser 98. This is a controlled feed. Okay, so it's not like a push feed where you can simply drop around into the barrel and close the action. As the round is being pushed up out of the magazine, it slides up underneath this big claw extractor. And once it's up underneath that claw extractor, it holds onto it pretty tight. Now, you can see how big the claw extractor is. So, controlled round feed, Mauser 98. You have to feed from the magazine. So, with this one being sporterized, that did kind of pose a problem. And kind of, I applaud the gunsmith who built this because he did a really good job. But the rifling in this barrel is right at 3.5 inches for cartridge overall length, and you've got to seat bullets down to 3.3 to be able to feed them out of the magazine. So
You got to make ammo to use this.
You have to load the ammo to fit the magazine to be able to shoot the rifle. And actually, that claw extractor, once it's closed, is sitting right there, and the round is locked into it. But controlled round feed. A lot of your dangerous game rifles are patterned after the Mauser 98, and that's because it pretty well is going to feed, because it grabs the rim of that cartridge, holds onto it, and you're not going to have to worry about your round falling out. In comparison, this is a Remington 700. It's what we call a push feed. So you've got your ejector here, your extractor is inside the bolt. As you're closing this, the rim goes underneath the extractor inside the bolt, so you can drop rounds in, close the bolt, feed them. Big difference between a controlled round and a push feed. So,
yeah, big difference.
But yeah, the original Mauser 98 and 8mm Mauser, they also had very long barrels on them. They were something, I venture guess they were something around 30 inches in length. I used to have a really good friend of mine who was a gunsmith who used to do a lot of conversion on surplus German Mausers. He would ream them out from 8mm Mauser to 8mm .6, and then we had to make sure we pushed the bullets down to about 3.3 inches to get them to feed, even though the cartridge overall length for 8mm Mauser, everything in the 30-06 family is 3.34. But you also tell that the rear of this receiver has been milled out to have a scope base attached. Originally, these rifles were not designed to have open sights. And you'll notice underneath that front base, if you can see it, part of the proof mark from where it was manufactured is underneath there.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it's covered up. But this is Mauser 98. It's got to be pretty old because the serial number is 5 digits. So.
And this has how long is the? It was, you said it was a 26-inch barrel.
24-inch barrel. 24-inch barrel, 1 9.5 twist. It's got a relatively cheap 4012 Nikon Pro staff on it. Something we had sitting around on the shelf. And 7mm Rem Mag. I was till I came across this. I really would never have thought of trying to feed a Rem Mag with that larger Magnum case head through a Mauser action, but it works. So, but it does work. Now this one, also, this one's had the bolt handle has been replaced. It's situated so it doesn't interfere with the scope. The original Mauser 98s, that bolt handle, once you open the action, was almost straight up and down. So this one's been sporterized. Had a lot of work done to it. Also, this has a Timony trigger. That was kind of a trick in itself, but actually went together pretty well. I got it set right at 3 pounds. Wasn't too bad. And that 3-pound trigger feels pretty good. Of course, rifle is empty. The one thing I had to do once I got a hold of this is I had to spend a lot of time working on the feed ramp in here to improve the reliability. But not a bad shooting rifle, and even with even with the long jump that we have to use for loading that ammo, this thing still prints under an inch. 3-round groups at 100 yards, so not too bad. I've been shooting 162 grain ELDX out of this, right at 2950 on velocity. So been doing pretty good. So, but anyways, I don't know. Any questions?
Yeah. So, what's the overall length of this rifle?
46 inches, I believe.
46. And is that normal for the normal sporterized rifles?
Yeah, well, it's a 24-inch, 24-inch barrel. Most rifles are going to be 22, 24. Occasionally, you'll run across somebody who wants 26, but yeah, 46 inches overall length. So.
And how easy is it to take apart? Is it pretty complicated?
Take it apart. You got 2 screws on the bottom, 2 screws, and then the rifle action comes out of the stock. One of the things I did some research on the Mausers, there are a couple of boutique specialty manufacturers that have made some takedowns on the Mauser 98 action, but they're pretty much few and far between, and you're talking about some really specialized manufacturers that are over in Europe that you would probably be looking at $3,000 or $4,000 to have one manufactured. So not something you're going to run into at your local pawn shop or gun store or somewhere like that.
It's rare to find a Mauser, sporterized Mauser at a pawn shop too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must. Most of them are heirlooms or.
Well, this one came out of an estate sale for. It would not have been available if the owner hadn't died. So.
Yeah.
This was part of an estate sale. The gentleman was in his late 80s. I think he was about 88 or 89, I believe.
Yeah, you had to clean the crap out of it too.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure it ever been, not really sure that it had ever been fired when it came to me. they bleed the bolt, which is something that's quite odd. And I've only put about 30 rounds through this, and just working the action back and forth, it's actually wore a lot of the bluing off the bolt. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I don't think it had really been shot a lot. I think somebody paid a gunsmith to build this, and I don't think they shot it very much.
Did some proof shots and gave it work,
Probably.
and then put it up on a shelf or put it away.
But I can tell you, it's not a lot of fun to shoot with this wood stock. Does have a recoil pad, but that recoil pad's pretty old. Kind of dried out some. But yeah, it's got a pretty good kick to it. But it's not a bad looking rifle. I mean, it'll do the job. So,
but it's not. When you take,
definitely not something you're going to run across every day.
Yeah,
You know,
it's pretty rare anymore. It used to not be. Even when I was a kid, they were pretty common.
20 or 30 years ago, you used to see a lot of these, the Mauser style. Then, of course, Ruger still manufactures the M77, which is a Mauser clone. But even in the Mauser, even in the Ruger, the M77, that's a higher end rifle. You're probably $800-900 entry level into one of those. So
You get an okay scope. You're talking probably for the whole rifle, probably $1,500 to $2,000.
Yeah.
Wouldn't definitely want to leave it laying around anywhere.
No. No.
Where just anyone could find it or anything.
The only thing I don't like about this is when they reworked the bolt handle, they stippled it, and sometimes this bolt's a little bit stiff to work, and that stippling can get kind of rough on your hands.
Yeah.
So not real fond of the stippled bolt handle, but it does work. It has a bolt safety, not a trigger safety, and that bolt safety will locks it so the firing pin cannot drop. When you unlock it, then it'll drop.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, not a bad rifle. Shoots pretty good. But
any other cool fun facts about converted Mausers?
I didn't think of. But like I said, this one definitely started its life as a military Mauser.
And what I'll do is when I go up to my parents' house, I'll get a militarized rifle and a military rifle and show you the difference. So,
yep.
All right, cool. With everything that's been going on, we decided to show you our rifle and so people could kind of see how it is.
Yep. Kind of odd to find one of these around now. So.
Yeah. But usually you don't hear about them very often.
No. Nope. So.
All right, is that it?
Yep. That's pretty much it. Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, so that's the Sporterized Mauser 98. I don't know if it would be a 98k. It's just Sporterized 98. Yeah, because the K meant carbine, but this is Sporterized Mauser 98, and this is all we know about it. If you want to know any more about these particular rifles, leave some comments down below, and we will try to reach out and answer any questions we can about Sporterized Mauser rifle. All right. Also, like and subscribe if you like these kind of videos, and definitely check out for our merchandise on the internet.
T-shirt shop.
T-shirts. All right.
Yep.